All right, welcome everybody. This is Word with Brownlow. I am back with the podcast. Today we have a very special guest in these very special times. Let me give you a couple of words about my guest. Advisor, analyst, healer, therapist. Everybody, welcome to the show, Miss Tannie Harris. How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself? Thanks for having me.
Man, thank you for joining us. Like I said, we have some real critical times going on. Everybody is sort of cooped up in isolation. This is real. So
it is.
Man, first and foremost, let's just get right into it. Like, how are you handling everything that's going on during this time?
I just did an interview yesterday with another person. I said, I really haven't had a chance to think about it because I've been working. My clients and new clients, they still want their therapy. So I've literally gone from doing, 4 to 5 sessions 3 days a week to probably 7 to 9 sessions 4 days a week virtually. Yeah. And so I'm going to take this weekend to sort of unplug and relax and just kind of be.
Okay. All right. Well, no, because I was going to ask you, like, how have you coped with this? And, how has this affected you personally? And as you said, your clientele has jumped from, well, man, I was going from 2, 3, 4. Now I'm up to like 7, 8, possibly 9,
Yeah.
Really depending on how long things are going to be. And if it keeps going on and on, the number's going to continue to grow. And like you have to cope with that because it's so much that you're taking on. So
it is
this weekend.
Yes, right. I am trying to get my exercise in and my meditation and my prayer. Those are things I like to do. I'm gonna make sure I work out. The good thing is I have a full team. I'm a team, so I have 8 other therapists who work with me. And so we're all handling it. Yeah, I have a group practice, so we're handling it.
Oh man, no, that's what's up. And we're going to come back to that in a minute.
Okay.
But, you have some youth out here. Youth are going through it right now, especially, youth in high school. It's rough. So,
yes.
How can parents help youth who are struggling with the lack of normalcy during this time?
I would say, especially our youth who are graduating, we're looking forward to senior prom and things like that. The first thing is let's try to stick to a routine, right? We know that businesses and schools are no longer in session, but if we can stick to a routine, which is getting up in the morning at the same time, eating breakfast, having dinner, having check-ins, but also I told someone you can still have these celebrations. Connecting with other parents and saying, hey, once this is over with, we know the school canceled it. How about we do something? Allow your teen to still put on their dress for graduation, to put on their prom dress and take pictures. You can still do those things, just maybe not with the school or in terms of that. But I would say still go forward. Do your own thing.
Yeah. Now,
because these kids still want the memories. They still want their memories.
Now, you know what? That is a very good idea. With technology, we have Zoom. They can have Zoom parties.
Exactly.
And, you can get together with your friends or whatever, and you can have the virtual prom if you can't be together.
Yep.
And
exactly.
No, you know what? Look, pat it down because you know what's going to happen in a minute. Go ahead. Okay. But since we are talking about these times, I pretty much talked about you. Let's talk about households who are financially stressed. Like,
yes,
man, which is a lot right now. How can we? Yeah, it's true. But how can we get the financially stressed, mentally focused to survive and bounce back from this pandemic shutdown? Because eventually, at some point, this is going to end and people have to...
Yes, it is.
So first and foremost, how can they get through it? And then, how can they bounce back?
Right. So this is a two-part question. So how can a good through applies to everybody? How are we going to deal with our mental health during this time, right?
Yes.
I think the first thing is to focus on what you can control. And those are things like unplugging from social media, taking your vitamins, washing your hands, encouraging others to wash their hands, exercising. I'm seeing all these virtual trainers and virtual classes. I'm loving it. We know that exercise reduces these mood boosting endorphins. Another thing is, which I touched on a little earlier, was just have a routine. Create what I call a moving forward plan, what your day is going to look like each day, right? Having a set schedule. Something else people can do is live in the moment, right? So a lot of times our worries and our fears are exacerbated by crisis, right? We worry about things that have not happened. And in that moment, it's important to ask yourself what is and not what isn't, right? So focus on what's real through meditation and mindfulness. And then another thing is stay connected, right? Talk to family and friends about what you're doing. Yes, we're practicing social distancing, but not isolation. So texting, phone calls, video chat, things like this to stay engaged.
Okay, all right. And bouncing back from that will entail you to get back out here and probably be somewhat well with the world. Okay.
Right. And then in terms of the money piece, I would tell folks, because it's tough for all of us, right?
Yeah.
I would say stay on top of reliable information, right? There's a lot of misinformation out here, right? So pay attention to reliable sources. Also avoid information fatigue. And what I mean is you can take in so much and not know where to go, right? Apply for any help. Yeah, apply for any help that you're eligible for. See what you're eligible for in terms of your circumstances. We talk about an emergency plan. It's too late for that. We have to create an emergency budget, right? So looking at your finances now and saying, okay, what can I do with what I have now? And make a budget off of that, right? And then also contact your creditors. Say, hey, I'm in a bind. I need a payment plan, or I need this to be pushed back. A lot of creditors are offering, extensions for certain circumstances. So that's what I would suggest.
Okay, all right, man. But see, those are very good ideas. But
yeah,
look, let's just keep it real. You and I both know there are households, there are people, especially like the elderly. Like I could think of my family all day. They're just sitting up watching television and everything. On the television.
Yes.
Oh my God. What about this? What about that? Did you hear about this? Boy, you better not go outside. What? Oh no, don't do this. Are you washing your hands? Are you no?
Right.
Slow down.
Yes.
Yeah. Like look. Man, like I don't think the pandemic is going to get you. You're going to get you, So
right.
Those are very, key things. But on the subject of keeping it real, we also, let's talk about tense households. We got kids and people living in households and, all types of domestic violence, whether it be physical, whether it be verbal, mental, financial, what have you, and during this day and time, depending on how long the situation may be, it could be at an all-time high with that. What encouragement, if any, could you offer those things?
It's tough, especially when we talk about DV. There are some resources out there, and I can make sure I get them to your listeners for folks who are in domestic violence situations, because they are some of our most vulnerable population in terms of the services that they're going to need and assistance that they need. So that's the first thing. I think in terms of parents and children, I think it goes back to having that routine and giving everybody their space, right?
Yes.
Because after a while, we're like, I'm tired of looking at you. Let's just be honest, right? Some of us are used to the hustle and bustle of every day, right? Kids are at school, you're at work. Now we don't have that, right? And although I think it's important that we continue to develop these family bonds during this time, I also think it's okay to say, you know what, how about you take a break and go in your room for 20 minutes? I'm gonna go in the front for 10 minutes. I'm gonna go sit in the bathroom and breathe a little bit to kind of get some of that space.
That's true, because especially out here in Cali, man, like spaces are so small and they charge so much, and it's like it's kind of hard to get space, if you're like in a studio or what have you. but no.
It is.
But that's true though. Like, man, if you have room in your closet, go in your closet, chill.
Exactly. We have to get creative.
Man, and you know what? That's the key. You have to get creative in times like this because we're so used to the norm. And you know, pretty much as you said, the normal hustle and bustle of every day. Hey, I get up. I'm usually doing this at this time. Now I have to sit here, and you're here, and you know, like man, idle time will do something to everyone if you are not creative enough to pass the time. So
exactly.
Okay. Now you touched on a lot of things on how to be, creative during these times. What are some more things that people can do to take their minds off things? Like, how can they have fun? Like, what?
I know.
Do? Like, like it's hard, but what are some things that you think they could do right now? Like,
well, I think exercising can be fun. Like I said, there are a lot of virtual trainers and virtual classes out here people are doing this for free. I've been seeing it online. That's one way. Read a book, right? Like, seriously, like we need to, that's fun. That may be fun for some folks. Start a new project, right? Play games, think about things that you've been putting off that you couldn't do because of work, right? Think about all the things you said, I want to do in terms of your home. Do those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that.
I'm sorry, Ann. I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you're fine.
I heard someone say, especially if you have a large family and it's you all in there, have a story time. Have the elders know a little bit about when they were, the youth's age and some of the mistakes the times they got in trouble, the times that, like something. And have the youth tell times that, man, I remember we did this and blah, 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 blah. That way you can help pass the time too. But to go back to what you were saying, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I was going to say, if people have access also to the internet and things, Pinterest is a good resource in terms of like fun family games where you basically can use things in your household to get creative. So that may be a spot people may want to look. Just type in fun family games and you'll get tons of resources. Okay.
All right. Now, man, you touched on your team earlier. Okay. Man, like, tell us about your group and the services you offer, because you say you have clients and you also have a team holding you down as well, correct?
Yeah, so I own a group private mental health private practice here in Chicago. So we provide individual therapy, family therapy, we do couples counseling, we do group work, and we do parent work. So we are a team of psychologists, licensed clinical social workers, licensed counselors, and nurse practitioners. And so I have therapists who do traditional therapy in the office, and now we're doing it virtually. We have therapists that are placed in the schools to provide support there. We also have therapists who go into the home of those who can't get to us, so that's seniors or those who are chronically ill. And then I have therapists placed at what's called assisted living facilities to provide services to the senior. We have a large senior population that we serve.
Okay.
Yeah, I myself as a clinician, I only work with Black men and Black boys. That's my focus as a clinician. And that is that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years. And I am also the creator of a not-for-profit called TMH Man Cave. And this was created to eliminate and bring awareness to the mental health needs of Black men. I'm a firm believer that men are the leaders in our community. So when you guys are well psychologically, socially, and mentally, I believe that our healing as a culture starts with y'all. So that's why I focus on men personally, but my practice sees everyone. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Look. All right. Hey, Miss Tannie Harris. Look. I like your style. I like what you do. No, seriously. After this is over, man, I'm gonna holler at you. Like, you got some stuff cooking out here that I think you can really like work with.
Okay.
But man, that's key. And honestly, I think it's very key that you do work with Black men and Black, Black young men at that, because especially during these times, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard enough as it is, period.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just like living day to day and doing what you have to do.
It is.
But
it is.
You know, when things sort of have you boxed in, when you're not really boxed in compared to friends of yours who are really boxed in and they really have nowhere to go.
Yes.
And I think you understand what I'm saying when I'm saying that, you know, without being, you know, transparent, but it's hard. So
it is. And honestly, society hasn't given you all a chance to be in that space, right?
No.
Most men have been raised to not cry, to not admit when they're not okay, right? So that's another reason why I created this space, so men can have a place to not only feel safe, but where they can feel brave, expressing how they feel, talking about things that affect them, particularly Black men, because I believe you all have a different set of issues, right? The world looks at you differently. And so it's important to me that I take care of y'all, you know, that we do this work. So yeah.
Man, I just want to let y'all know we got a champion out here, boy. Tannie Harris, champion. I like your style. So look, I'm down to my last question. This is the question that my show is known for, and I'm going to present it to you. Miss Tannie Harris, what is the one word that best describes you and why?
Overcomer.
Overcomer.
And yes, I am an overcomer because despite what life has thrown me, I recognize that my life wasn't about me. It was about using my gifts to bring out the best in others. So.
Okay. Okay. All right. So look, man, tell the people out there how they could get in contact with you, any shout outs, whatever, man. This is your time. So what do you
Okay, so you know my website is www.tmhbehavioral, that's BEHAVIORAL services.com. You can also follow me on social media, Instagram, Twitter, TMH Wellness Redefined, all one word, TMH Wellness Redefined. Also on Facebook, same thing, TMH Wellness Redefined.
Okay, all right. Any shout outs? You want to say what's up to some people? What's up, man? You know?
I want to say what's up to the TMH Man Cave team. Shout out to you guys and all the work that you do, all of the therapists with TMH Behavioral Services. I want to give a special shout out to the fitness representative who's doing some great work here in Chicago around fitness. And that's it.
All right. Well, man, look here. Miss Tannie Harris, you have been a pleasure to have on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Man, no problem, man. Look, don't be a stranger. We'd love to have you back on some panels and stuff.
Anytime.
Man, look, this is Word with Ty Brownlow. No one is worthless. No story is worthless. We out. Peace.
All right. Thank you. Take care.